Started, he was on the scene, and he's one of the best comics I've ever met in my life. He is actually the WikiLeaks of NASA. Okay, and he's absolute big hand to Matt Boylan.
It's a real show, it's an absurd show. A lot of people don't know this about me. I light a cigarette. I smoke. Did I talk to you?
Good point.
So Steve Jobs is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. He looks pretty active. Healthy, robust, charismatic. And Stephen Hawking is still alive. I guess it pays to keep your mouth shut and do what you're told. That's amazing, eh? Smartest man alive. Holds all the answers about our universe and outer space and how it works. And he's also the least likely to go up in a rocket to check out his theories.
Sure.
When you hear Stephen Hawking talk, I mean, it's a robot voice. That's amazing. Back in 1980, he developed artificial intelligence just for one guy to push NASA. Artificial intelligence that could tap into his fucking brain
as he wants or is gone to
and read his thoughts so he could talk to a robo-filter.
The question of whether God is bound by the laws of science is a bit like your question.
You think that they would have fucking maybe installed online translator? Because if they said that was the smartest man in the universe, I don't know if everybody would believe him. So who's the real voice? It is Matt Boylan, a.k.a. Matthew Leonard Boylan, a.k.a. Dragonfly Supervisor, Agent M2 ZX10, Graphics Operational Manager for NASA. Been a comedian for about 20 years. It's been fun. I'm a high-realist painter, photorealist painter. Worked for NASA on and off doing freelance graphics for about 20 years now. And the quark in the second atom of the quasar in the black hole. NASA. As you can see, we got a nice red serpent tongue coming through there. NASA. And there's the UN flag. Also the symbol of the flat earth. Oh, of course, if I say flat earth, I gotta be an idiot, right? That's what they told you, right? It's a ball. There's no Antarctica in this. That's a bird's eye with the North Pole. Right in your fucking face. You know, there's gonna be some comedians making jokes tonight, but I want to talk about the joke that's on you. There's 5 UN Security Council members. You know how you become a UN Security Council member? You get the bomb. And they're all seated across from each other on the UN Security Council, deciding for every other fucking nation in the UN what to do. Like reservoir dogs pointing fucking guns at each other's head, securing the world. UN Security Council. What are they securing? freedom, democracy, human rights, democracy. That's funny. So there's like 360 members of the UN or whatever, but only 5 countries decide what goes on for the world. Some democracy. Line number 1. That's what it takes to be a member. Have a bomb, nuke the planet, go up and take a look at what it really looks like. Outer space. There it is. There's your world. You know when they took that? 1969. First lunar mission to the moon. You know, the first lunar mission to the moon wasn't so much about going to the moon. It was about having an event so you can go high enough to take a picture after 500 years to prove it was a ball. They went to the moon before they crossed the Antarctic. The 2 most watched televised events in history: the moon landing and the towers falling. Up, down. Oh, there they are. Moon landing, 8:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1969. Isaac Newton, 1666. 666999666. Most people saw the lunar landing and they swear on it because they heard it on the radio. CBS put up screens all over in Central Park, along with NBC, you know, so they could work with groupthink dynamics. Reality is reinforced by group dynamics, witnessing an event. Now, is it really them halfway to the moon? Or they just turned out the lights in the cabin and pressed the camera up against a round window? Don't forget your flag of the world has no Antarctica and it's flat. But of course, to entertain that notion, you have to be an idiot. Right? Like they told you, Simon says. Well, I'm going to run you guys through a perception test to see if this crowd could discern between an image that's a painting by applause or a photo of reality. So by applause, how many people think this is a painting? Plus, how many people think this is a photo? It's a photo of a painting, but that's not the fucking argument. Next. It's a painting. Photo or painting? By applause, photo. By applause, painting. It's a painting by the artist photorealist Cesar Santander. Photo or painting? Painting. That's the photo. How do I know? I did it. Applause. Painting or photo? By applause, photo. By applause, painting. That's a photo that looks like a painting. Photo or painting? Painting. I did it. Pause. Photo or painting? Photo? By applause? By applause, painting. You're just fucking crap shooting in the casino now, aren't you? Painting, Richard Estes. Photo or painting? By applause, photo. That's a photo. Next. And that's my painting of the photo. Photo or painting? Photo? It's a photo. Pause. Photo or painting? The painting, I did it. I fucking did it. I own the copyright on all this shit. Pause. That's why I can monetize on YouTube. By the way, I own the NASA channel on YouTube. I swear to God. That's an official photo from NASA. By applause, how many people think that's a photo? By applause, how many people think this is bullshit? This is Ololapia, distant moon of Mercury. This is Ololapia without the shading from Adobe Photoshop. Good look at it. And this is the little section from an ice inlet in the Antarctic that I cut out, and I just cropped the fucking black circle out of construction paper and made a planet out of it. Oh, this is Pupapipia. This is a distant planet of Venus. As you can see here, you can see all the crater textures on my shirt. We can fucking make you think. Oh, this is amazing. These are supernovas. They never caught this many suns colliding and actually exploding at the same time by Hubble telescope. And I actually have a close-up of this. Amazing. This is actually the most distant shot they have of our galaxy. Here's a close-up. They came up with a new term for this, collisionary supernovas, because suns were actually meeting and exploding at the same time. In a Christmas tree. This guy's pretty smart right there. This is Mars. This is the surface of Mars. Yeah. Very sandy. Surface of Mars without the black background. And there you go. It's just a desert. Oh, this is sunrise on Star Trek. So it's a Hollywood image that looks real. Now, photo or painting? 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 How the fuck would you know? This is actual NASA. Here, pause. You see this cloud formation there? You see Africa? Do you see the shadow line on the top of Africa? Next image. They fucking reversed it. Our boys at NASA, they took the same image, they just flipped it. Did you get it? They flipped it. And they call it two different images. I'm not making this shit up. Well, people are going to go, well, here's some footage of the Earth rotating, liar. So you got you can't see it very well here with the light here, but you got South America turning here. But what's interesting here is has this image been doctored by applause? Yes or no? Has it been doctored? Yeah, it's been sped up because South America at this speed is going to be around in 5 minutes. But what's interesting is the clouds are not morphing. Oh, it's spinning. But the artists are too lazy to show how fast the clouds will be morphing at that speed. Check it out. See that cluster of clouds? It's not fucking changing. And that's a real shot of the Earth spinning. But the clouds aren't changing. People go to me, what are you on? What did you fucking smoke? What drugs did you take? What drugs did the planet take? Because you're never gonna fucking know. If it's a fucking ball. So if I want to hide how much real estate there really is, I'll tell you this amount. You're never gonna go to the South Pole to check out my theory. I rest my case.
All right, so here you go. What is this? This is the picture of the Earth. I liked the first video. That was very great. The video just before there, it's like, what was that about, that video? Was it? That was about brainwashing. How do you brainwash? Well, you repeat it. You repeat the same thing over and over again. You know, if somebody's resisting the concept, if you keep fucking repeating it, after 6 times, they'll incorporate it in their brain. They may not agree with it, but repeat it another 1,000 times, they'll start saying it. I could start a campaign called Watatata for like fucking $4 billion this week. And in like 24 hours through Twitter, everybody could be walking around going Watatata, Watatata. Okay, so here's the picture of the Earth from space. There it is. Since you were a kid, you've seen this image. But you've never seen it from that point of view. You've never seen that with your eyes from that scale of a model, that point of view, from outside of the planet's surface. But your brain has three-dimensionalized, oh yeah, that's the Earth. How? Through repetition. Next image. How do we get to this point of the image? This is fucking funny. I think this is funny. Next image. Well, here's the first image that sold the whole thing. As you can see, that's clearly the universe. I mean, that's clearly the universe. I swear to God. I mean, there's the sun. I mean, I could recognize that thing. It's a bullseye. It's like a planet. It's an egg. Whatever. But there you go. You got each rung, the whole thing. 1482. This is when they came up with this idea. We are on that thing. It's a ball. Hey, we should go to the North and the South Pole. We didn't do it yet. It's a fucking ball. Hey, nobody's even like jumped up high enough to see if it is a ball. You can't do that. We don't have planes yet. It's a ball. You know what? We adopted this whole model like 400 or 500 years before the airplane. 400 years before the airplane, pretty much. Like what, beginning of the 1900s? They went to the North Pole in the 1900s. This is 1482. Nobody went to the top of the globe, to the bottom, or flew up, or built a skyscraper. That's it. It's been a decade since like Columbus hit America. That's it. You had Spinoza, Leibniz. Everybody was fighting to say what the fuck we were on, how much land there really was. Real estate, right? Real estate. The only commodity that appreciates besides art. Right? These are the only things that appreciate. Everything's depreciating except those two. It's funny how these two are going to meet and what I'm going to talk about. Next image. It's funny that we said that this is what we're in right now. This is what we're on before any instrument approved. Until pause. Can you do it? It's funny, back in the 60s when they went to the moon, this is the first time we actually had like an instrument of flight to actually go high enough to actually fucking check out if what we agreed to 500 years ago was real. So if they were wrong after 500 years, the question is, would they tell you? University institutions, physics, the Royal Society in London, That's of course NASA. Newtonian physics. Why objects move on a ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour while it's going 26,000 miles around the sun. It's basically the model we accepted right now. I don't feel it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour right now. Oh, that's because of gravity. Oh, hey, gravity? What's that? That's the thing you can't feel. Oh yeah, can you prove that in an equation? Yeah, I can prove that in an equation. It took Newton like a book, 3 times thicker than the Bible, and he still couldn't finish his equation on how to prove gravity. He would try to prove gravity when you read Newton's book of Principia through like Stephen Hawking, or if you even find the original book, he would prove by saying that everything started with the word if. If you fucking take Newton's book of like if the earth is a ball and objects are being thrown this way, blah blah blah, you know, that means that we're spinning at this amount of velocity and you can't feel it, and why the objects don't go flying off into the universe is because of gravity, because of a vacuum system of air pressure. I mean, he went to hyperbole, into ifs. I mean, if you were to highlight every time the word if came up in Newton's book of physics, you could fucking use it as a flashlight in a dark room, man. It's like you fucking get out of the cave with the amount of times if is highlighted in his fucking book on physics. It's like if is every... Here's like a perfect example of them landing on the moon. I mean, it's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. This is proof, man. It's the picture's right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon. I don't know what the big deal was with being the first guy on the moon. It seems the camera crew was already there. The fucking tripod. Camera A, B, C. You know, back in the 60s, I mean, I know people who believe they saw the landing on the moon because they heard it on the radio. Don't get in here, they're on the moon, I can hear the dust. My God, I can hear him walk. He's walking slow. There's zero gravity up there. Jesus, they're on there now. They're on there now. I could just see a guy in a sound studio just taking fucking, like a bag of salt going, landing on the wooden floor and just going, oh my God, they're there. They're on it right now. Ethel, get in here. Like, how would you know? There was no independent telescope to even like say they went to the moon. The only telescopes that I could actually film it were NASA telescopes. Yeah, according to the people who landed on the moon, they landed on the moon. Nobody else could fucking check it out. So there it is. That's a fucking photo. There it is landing for the first time, but how? How? Next photo. It's funny how NASA gives us these little pictures, eh? Every week there's a little NASA photo, what they're up to, just to keep you fucking nursing off the teat or whatever. This is an amazing monumental sort of feat of space exploration. This is the Galileo satellite. Full authentic NASA imagery of the Galileo satellite. Must have cost like $1 trillion for this fucking operation. Very expensive. This is the Galileo satellite. They never knew it would go that far and reach Jupiter. You know, they didn't know. It's the first time anything goes that far. It managed to get there. There's Jupiter. There's one of its moons. I mean, it's clearly lining up to take some really good photos of Jupiter. Immediately followed by a camera satellite. Perfectly composing the whole shot out in outer space. Amazing, eh? What the cameras can do when they fly. It's into outer space, a place we've never been to. That's amazing. Look at that. That's perfect. That's like the photo of the year, if you ask me. For a fucking satellite to be able to like, you know, like wake up in outer space. We didn't even know we could do that, you know, and with, unbelievable. I give it to NASA. Let's go to another photo here. Another photo. This is good too. Oh, let's zoom in. I love that iMovie sort of effect. I'm really in the gas. But how am I supposed to go? Yeah, that's the Earth. From there, that point of view I've never seen. And it's funny when you click on Google Images, photo of the Earth. Keep going. Because this is realistic. But you'll see 40 pages on Google. But it's always the same fucking photo. It's the same photo. They just changed the contrast. Check it out, keep going. Oh yeah, boom, 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 40 pages. Look closely. It's always the same. Oh, what is that? I guess this is a photo of the Hubble telescope taking a picture of itself. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's an authentic photo of the Hubble telescope out there doing its job. Isn't that amazing how they could take a photo of the thing taking photos? Out in outer space. Unbelievable. You know, they never crossed Antarctica, but let's go to the moon and take pictures of shit out in space. That's fucking unbelievable. You know, the instruments will work in Antarctica. It's too fucking cold, but hey, let's go somewhere where we don't know the instruments will work. That's unbelievable. I can't, it just boggles my mind how they do this stuff. All right, next one. Solar powered, by the way. Solar powered. Look at that. Environmental. Environmental in outer space. Okay. That's my only fucking fan right there. Naomi. That's it. There you go. There you go. There's what you believe. That's it. That's it. That point of view you've never seen. It's fucking funny, huh? I think it's funny. You've never seen that, but everybody goes, yeah, il prend ça pour acquis. Ah oui, c'est ça. L'affaire que j'ai jamais vue. It's funny, eh? You should think about these things, right? I heard that, you know, if you want to like program a human mind, what you do is you just repeat images to a young child while the brain is forming.
Well,
yeah, pretty much. And then, you know, the kid fucking grows up and you've wired the kid. It's fucking mind control. It's great. But it's an example. Hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There could have been a camera rocket that got there on the moon, set up, pulled out like a lens, and then filmed it. And processed 35mm black and white film in an atmosphere. We don't know if cameras will work. All right, so anyways, next photo. Hey, it's possible. Those guys are so ahead. They don't tell us, right? There you go again. Same fucking thing, same cloud patterns, always the same cloud patterns. I know what I'm talking about. This is an official NASA photo of the North Pole. Go back. What is that? Is that you? Or is that the... Okay, go back to the other one. Go back to the other one. Go back to the other one. Okay, this is an official... Sorry to give you shit there, Dan. You're doing a great job. But this is an official, this is an authentic, apparently, from NASA. This is an authentic NASA photo of the Arctic, the North Pole. By applause. How many people think that this is a painting? By applause. How many people think this is bullshit? There you go. That's Europe. The sun's hitting it. Applause. You think that's a photo? Well, satellite imagery, man. There's infrared and shit. All right, next image. This is Olilapia. Next image. This is Olilapia without an Adobe Photoshop shading. And this is the texture that I cut out with a circle to create the fake fucking moon called Olilapia. Are you telling me that we just got to take black construction paper, cut out a circle, put it on fucking peanut butter and jam spills, and say, hey, it's Ipapopo? And you fucking swallow that shit every day? It's funny, I do this today because the Google, you saw the Google today, they had the Hubble telescope. It looked like a kid's drawing. Did you fucking see that today? That's why I'm doing this today. So this is the next one. You can go to the next one. That's it. I mean, I just take out, I say it's not a circle. It's not a sphere. Right away, what do you have in your brain? Well, you think it's flat and there's water falling off into the fucking outer space like Bugs Bunny? So either you have a square or a circle in your head. It's either Coke or Pepsi with the shape of the planet. What if it's bigger? What if there's more land that they're hiding from? This is a great painting. It's supposed to be Jupiter. It's funny, any telescope you try to get, the high-powered digital telescope, you won't see this. You won't go, oh wow, it's exactly... They'll show you a little light. You'll never see this. This is like you gotta get the big fucking telescopes. And then if you shoot at fucking Jupiter, I've talked to these guys, these astronomers, and they're like, oh man, no, it takes like, how long does it take to get the photo after you point it at Jupiter? It takes about 2 years. They just like, we just point it, we put it in our quadrants and our coordinates, and we don't get the image until 2 years. And it took me 2 years to even access that telescope. I was like, oh my God, that is like 5 years down the tube, man. Like, for all you know, it's like, that's it. I mean, I think this is just paint spilt and bleeding into itself. Nice little images that they make at Area 51. All right, but they make you think it's saucers. Area 51's all these spaceships. They got aliens down there, man. They're landing on this planet. All right. Oh, this is an actual... Okay, so that one was Jupiter. This is Io, the moon of Jupiter. Am I lying? By applause. By applause. Am I lying? Is this like... Did I make this moon up? This planet up? Did I make this... Is this a homemade moon? By applause? Okay, by applause if you think this is really Io, the distant moon of Venus.
No.
This is a fucking actual moon of Jupiter called Io, NASA. I think it's just a close-up on bad acne. You know, and then he just ran it through like a saturation yellow filter on Adobe. You know what I'm saying? That's not an Adobe crowd. Do you remember when Pluto was a planet?
Yeah.
What happened to that shit? We were at 9 planets, and now we're at 8? Like, and everybody's like, huh, okay, we were off on our solar system. We're not 9 planets, we're 8. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. I noticed that. Everybody else went back to bed. You know, like we're saying, it's 9 planets going around the sun. And then suddenly, like in the year 2000, what? 7, 8? After fucking Y2K, we fucked up. Pluto's not a planet. That's no. You don't fuck up on planets. You can't fucking tell me for 500 years that there's 9 fucking planets and then just try to slip it in the Yahoo front page. We discovered Pluto's too small to be a planet. Sorry, we fucked up. There's only 8. Like, come on, you can't just do that and I go and suck my thumb and eat your fucking shit pablum. There's no fucking way. What about the guy who works at NASA and he just studied Pluto? That's all he fucking learned. He went to university. This poor sucker. What's he doing now? He's fucking on the street, penniless. There's nothing to do. He just studied one fucking planet. You know how they become specific in their physics and they study a planet from a picture they've never fucking seen. They're like, I'm an expert on Jupiter, man. No, I know Mercury inside out. Fucking find out the news. It's like, what are you doing here, man? I came in for work. Dude, didn't you hear the news? What? Pluto's not a planet, man. You were off, man. You were fucking way off. It's a moon. You screwed up. It's too small. Well, the light emissions were big enough to be called a planet. Because apparently, that light in the sky, they were saying was that picture they've been feeding you as Pluto. Suddenly one day, diminished rapidly. So they had to come up with something real fucking quick, because that thing they fucking pointed at the sky, that's Pluto. That's moving around. It's like, suddenly one day everybody's like, hey, what happened to the light on Pluto? It's like, did that bulb go out? And then there was a big debate. Well, we can't decide whether it's a planet based on how much light we see. This is ridiculous. You got to give us more to work on. Like a rocket that sends us there to check out to see if it's big enough to be a fucking planet. You know, like, nobody's going after this shit. They're just taking NASA's. I mean, one day NASA could come out and say something on fucking Yahoo, and we'd all be like repeating it. Like, we'd just be like, yeah, it's like we found a distant planet off the distant moon Io of Jupiter. And I'd be like, wait a minute, are you saying, there'd be a bunch of fucking Star Trek physics nerds at NASA going, wait a minute, are you saying that moons can have their own planets? That's fucking crazy. You saying planets can revolve around moons now? Oh my God, planets can revolve around moons, and they'd be flipping out. Moons have planets too, man. It just keeps going. This is a moon they discovered off of Mars. Opipapa, and if you do a close-up on it, you see all the craters and the texture of the moon on my shirt. There it is. It's just that. It's just a bunch of paint. Next image. I'm having too much fun up here. You guys should fucking join me. All right, so there you go again. I mean, is this a painting or is this a cartoon? Fucking challenging the whole thing, eh? It's like, wait a minute, you're saying that's a drawing? How are you gonna know? Next image. Oh, this is amazing. We just went to Mars. Hey, big round of applause now for the Americans going to Mars. And this is the official image of them landing there. It's fucking funny. It's like, isn't it amazing how they were landing there and they already had an airbrush artist with his easel set up to paint it land that quick. It's like unbelievable. How many people think this is real? This is the official landing. Oh, then they got another one with a metal sort of pipe and sand in black and white. That's proof. They were there, man. They're landing on the sand. Check it out. That's it. There you go. Some more images. This is what they're doing on Mars right now. Moving around with their little rover. That's a real photo. Look at that. This is another. I swear to God, they're on Mars right now. Look at that. This thing's moving around. I don't even know what it does. It's like a weird sort of sample collector. It's a spider. It's a spider sampler. It's a spider sampler. Sand sampler. It's a sand sampler. They call it.
Well, it's getting spice.
It's getting spices from Mars. Yeah. Go to the next one. They're on Mars. That's unbelievable. Big round of applause for the Americans finally accomplishing something. That's amazing. And this is it. This is what, pause right here. This is what's amazing. I was trying to figure out, like, they brag about, like, at what distance the Hubble telescope can, like, get a picture of space. And I want to know what was the furthest this thing could, like, get a picture of our universe, right? And this is it. It's, is that 14 billion? It's 14 billion. 14 billion light years, which is unbelievable if you know light years. And I know this is a light year crowd. I can tell, like, you guys. But, right? 14 billion light years. That's unbelievable that a camera would get that distance. The only problem is that I never measure distance in time. I've never gone up to somebody and said, like, how tall are you? Oh, I'm 42 years old. That's the only problem here is they make it, they bamboozle you. Well, first with the whole concept of, like, what's the furthest distance? Oh, that's 14 billion light years. Okay, in kilometers? Oh man, that's difficult. I mean, we're talking light years. This is really fucking far, and we're at 14 billion of them. Do you want to know how much one light year is? And so then I did the research. One light year, one fucking light year, one light year out of the 14 billion light years is, I don't even think we have a fucking name for this number, do we? That's what is that? That's what we got a billion here, and that's like 10 trillion? 10 trillion kilometers is one light year. This is where the math becomes intimidating. You just give up and you go, you're right, NASA. You've got so many fucking zeros. I wish I could get a fucking paid a check like that. That's fucking, what is this, the Matrix? What am I looking at here? I'm like, where's Neo? You know, like, you want the red pill or the blue pill? You know, like, what is this? Like, and then this is what I times it. So I 14 billion times 10 trillion fucking kilometers fucking gives me, you just give up. You're like,